Hello everybody, Andy here, and today we are looking at the Balance Dataslate for Kill Team. It's a hot one in the sense that it's pretty chilled, pretty cool. Yeah, okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read through it, and then at the end I'm going to quickly go back over every change and my thoughts on it, but just straight up, first off, I'm just going to read it, because there's only like 8 changes. So just quickly smash through them, shall we? If you're here and you just want to know what the changes are because you can't be bothered to read, I got you. First things first, we have the Critical Operations 2022 pack, aka kind of the pack that nobody can buy, but it's starting to come back in stock, kind of. The Loot Mission Action, each objective marker can be looted a maximum of 4 times during the battle instead of 3. This is a good thing. This kind of goes hand in hand with the thing just above it, which is each player cannot score more than 16 VP, whereas it used to be 12. This is just done to, so the first thing was done so that the top bullet point there was done so that we didn't get as many draws, and certainly since this has come out, I am indeed seeing less draws, or at least discussion and complaints of draws. However, Loot Mission Action, everybody had issues with loot because it could lead to an early victory, because you could essentially block somebody. If you just managed to get to their side of the board and take their one loot, that kind of got you the game. Anyway, let's keep on cracking my crackers. Yeah, nothing from there. Cool. Warp Coven, lots happened there. Rubric Marine Operatives got a buff, basically. So instead of APL 2, they are now APL 3 base, which is great. And they now get 4 attacks, both with their fists and their gargoyle bayonets, which is very good. However, because of that, the way they interact with sorcerers is a little bit different, and we are going to have to discuss it, but I'll just read it out for you now. Change Sorcerer Operatives Rubric Command Ability. Each time a friendly Rubric Marine Operative is activated, if it isn't within 6 inches of a friendly Sorcerer Operative, subtract 1 from its APL. We'll talk about that later. And then there's another thing, but that's for narrative, so obviously nobody plays narrative, won't talk about that. We then go to, that is a joke, it's a meme. Illustrated in Star Riders, so I did not expect these guys to get retouched, if I'm honest, but, because, you know, they were crap, they got buffed, they've been nerfed, and now they've brought them out back up to like a halfway thing, so the Voidsman's Rotor Cannon gains the Relentless Special Rule again, which is, well, cool, good. Season 2, nothing for the Kimban, nothing for the Breachers. Okay. High-Tech Circle, they're solid apparently. Kassakin, still gangster. Intercession Squad have been touched upon. Durable, methodical, and rapid chapter tactics have been updated. Durable, methodical, rapid. Now, durable had already been touched. This isn't new, so we've already seen the durable change, but methodical and rapid have been changed. Methodical has been changed. I need to read it, don't I? So methodical used to be you never took a minus to your ballistic skill no matter what, essentially. Now it's only stopping you from being lessened in your ballistic skill from Overwatch. So if you get injured, you're still at -1. This is actually huge. Rapid, likewise, is you only get +1 to your normal move, not to a charge, which is, again, big. As I say, small changes, but actually big. Then we get Exaction Squad, Hearth King, Chaos Cult. So let's do this the reverse order, shall we? Because let's start with the Chaos Cult, which I'm not going to comment on, I will just mention it. The Iconarch's Ruinous Invigoration ability to a minimum of 3 instead of 2. This is just bringing it in line with all other damage reduction abilities. Cool. Yeah. Hearthkin Salvagers. So this is basically, as I'm sure you all know, Steady Advance became a core rule before the Hearthkin Salvagers were released. So they had a faction ability that had no effect. Classic. That went to the Book of Grudges if ever I've seen it, right? However, they've now completely changed it. So while a friendly Hearthkin Salvager operative is performing a normal move action, add 1 inch to its movement characteristic. No comment. I will come back to it in a mo, because we now have the most touched up team, the Exaction Squad. So add the following to Ruthless, so they have 4 changes, okay? Add the following to Ruthless Efficiency Ability. In addition, if the target is within circle of another friendly Exaction Squad operative, that ranged weapon has the P1 critical hit rule for that shooting attack. Cool. Add 1 to wounds characteristic of all operatives. Nice. The following weapons gain the lethal 5-up special rule. The Cybermastiff's Mechanical Bite, Marksman's Executioner Shotgun, and the Revelatum's Scoped Shot Pistol. And finally, Execution Order Tactical Ploy, 0 plus CP, costing 1 additional command point for each previous time you've used it during the battle, and you can use it more than once. Oh, okay. Sweet. Okay, that is all of the changes made. Let's have a quick think. I'm going to go through it. Let's start with Intercession, the changes there, because, you know, it's interesting, right? This is big, actually. This is genuinely quite big. The change to Rapid, that +1 charge was always quite useful. I'm going to be honest. I think you still take Rapid. If I'm honest, I think as a default pick, Rapid is still really useful. Yeah. However, I would say that the change to Methodical makes me think I would never take Methodical again. Sorry, not never. That's a bold statement, isn't it? Yeah, I probably wouldn't take Methodical now. I'd be leaning towards still taking Rapid. Durable's still good, I think, and Dueler is good in certain melee-based matchups. So the loss of Methodical is big, but probably good, because let's be honest, those 3 abilities, Chapter Tactics, were the 3 that have always been talked about. You would take Methodical, Durable, Methodical in some combination. So to see this changed, this is good. I think this is healthy for Intercession. Now it might turn people away from taking one of the 3 very obvious picks. Personally, not really me, I'm happy to stick with Durable and Rapid, but I am just worse off because of it, so that's fine. Intercession, that was easy. Right, let's talk about Warp Coven. Elucidating Starstriders. Fine. Cool. I feel like, and I'm just going to throw it out there, Elucidating Starstriders got a lot of pro player attention right after they got buffed, hence why they then got nerfed. And so, I don't know. The Elucidating Starstriders buffs and nerfs don't sit well with me, if I'm honest. But that's another discussion. This particular buff is fine. Let's talk about Warp Coven. So, weirdly, Warp Coven is one of the factions that I actually know. What's going to happen due to these changes? Is Warp Coven going to shoot to the top? Are they gonna, no, they're not. This is a real soft touch. Real soft. So, yeah. I don't think any pro players that were in the past thinking, oh, Warp Coven, they're not good enough, they're the bottom tier, which is where most people place them when they do tier lists, this doesn't change anything for you. I guess it's a little bit of a quality of life change, giving your rubrics APL3 so they can hold points better. I don't know. Is good. Cool, that's them. Were there any else up here? Oh yeah, the loot mission actually. I already expounded upon that for quite a while. No need to do that again. In session, yep, high tech. Navy breach is not being changed. Interesting. I would like to see a change to the Blitz tactical ploy and the way their servo skull works. But apparently nobody else wants to see that, so there you go. Cool. Right, and then we get into the three big boys, the 3 main changes. Let's start with Gallowfall. I guess that's the interesting one. So the Hearthkin Salvagers. They were a slow team, buffing their movement's good. However, this particular buff, while I think it is good, is to my mind showing the limitations of the Kill Team engine. Kill Team decided to use shapes. I love shapes. I'm never going to say a bad word about them. I have them on all my merch because I think they're funny and practical. But they decided that they were going to do all movement in denominations of circle, 2 inches. But they then got to a team where they were like, oh, you know what? They have to be slower thematically than the base move of 3 circle, so they have to be 2 circle. But my man, the difference between 4 and 6 inches is huge. As, just put a penis joke in there. You get it. You get it. Hilarious. Hilarious. Well done, Andy. Oh, measurements, sizes. Well done. So what they've essentially done here, if you imagine it, they've taken the data sheet and they've put, so movement, circle plus triangle. Yeah, I just feel like this edition of Kill Team is showing a little bit like the limitations of its engine, and you know, I don't know, a little bit awkward. That's all I'm saying. It's fine. This is a good change. They're like, yes, I think that Hearthkin salvages, I don't think it's going to change much for them. I think they're still going to be bad, but this is a good change. I would almost say this isn't a balance change, this is a quality of life change. Those are 2 different things. Much like let me expand upon that for a smidge. So that's the Hearthkin salvages. They're still going to be pretty low tier, but this is a good change for them. The Exaction Squad. I'll talk about them last. Chaos Cults. This is, so literally every other channel has already done Chaos Cults, why they're broken. Which I haven't done yet, and I said that in a dumb voice as if I was making fun of them. I was making fun of myself, to be clear, because I haven't done it yet. But it obviously needs to be done. This is weird. The Chaos Cult need to be changed, obviously. And this change isn't a real change. This is a change that was done when they decided that all damage reduction was going to be limited to 3, and this was written long ago, 6 months ago, but after the book had been put out, right? So this isn't a real change. They haven't actually had time to look at the Chaos Cult win rates, how it was received by the public, etc. Ignore it, or don't ignore it, like, you know, but don't think that they have looked at Ashes of Faith yet. However, they clearly have looked at Gallowfall. So what's not on this buff, this balanced data slate? Frenzy. Frenzy is a fine ability if you're playing Kill Team the spirit it is meant to be played. Frenzy is a bad ability if you abuse it, as top tier players generally do. That's, you know, you abuse rules. That's how you do it. That's how you win games against other top tier players. You play the game in a way that it probably was never fully intended to be played. And once you can do that, you have a broken rule. It's quite literally broken. It is abused, not used. So, I think Frenzy's fine against, you know, like if you're just playing the team for fun, mid-tables, low tables, Frenzy's fine. It's cool. There are ways around it. Top tables, once you actually know how to abuse the rule, really bad. Exaction Squad. Exaction Squad has had 4 changes, and they have done 2 good changes, 2 not bad changes. It's done 4 good changes. However, so I think that 2 of these rules, in my opinion, are quality of life changes as opposed to real balance changes. What this means is that they are good changes, and there are lots of rules throughout Kill Team that do need, well, by definition they don't need, that would love to have quality of life changes. However, the Exaction Squad need big buffs. They don't need quality of life changes. We should give them quality of life changes because everyone should have quality of life changes, but they haven't. Oh, Andy, what are you talking about? Yeah, sorry, right. So, for example, I believe that add 1 to the wounds characteristic of all operatives is a genuine buff that they needed. That is a mandatory buff for the team. However, the following weapons gain lethal 5 up. Mechanical bite, executioner shotgun, scoped shot pistol. That's nice, it's a nice to have, but it's not mandatory. That's not making you pick that team, right? If you're a pro player and you're looking through and you're thinking, how do I make this work? You can practically ignore the lethal 5 up special rule. It's not changing your view on the team. Whereas all of your operatives now being +1 to your wound is changing your view on the team. It is going to make you relook at damage characteristics, who you now play well into and who you don't play well into. It is a legitimate change. Lethal 5-up is not a legitimate change. It's not going to, it doesn't fix anything they need fixed. It's a quality of life change. There you go. Cool. Now my Exaction Squad are actually, my big shame, I've got to be honest, Exaction Squad is the one faction I have not built. There's no real reason for that. Well, timing. But I have the sprues, and I feel like I probably should build them. Because part of me really wants to play them. And actually, I'm going to throw this out there, I was putting off building my Exaction Squad because I knew they were going to get a buff, right? 100% buff was coming. What's the point? I'm a hipster. I'm not going to play a faction that is top tier. Good news for me, Exaction Squad is not top tier. They might just be playable. However, they've had a tough matchup into elites, famously. I don't think they've had any changes to that. So I'm still going to have tough matchups to elites, but they've had a nice big buff, but it's not going to change anything. So I can now go and build my Exaction Squad and actually enjoy playing them, perhaps. Cool, which is nice. That's cool for me. Okay, that's me done. Guys, I forgot to give you a double hello at the beginning, and that is truly my bad. Do you know why it's my bad? Because I know you're all just here for the pleasantries. Me too. I'm only here to give you the pleasantries. And if you like that, consider giving yourself a triple hello at the end of the video. Yes, that was a touch rushed, I agree. But honestly, guys, for the past, I must say, 3 months, I've been a little bit down on Kill Team. I'm still playing it, to clarify, you know, like chilled out game once a week, all good. But I've lost the joie de vivre for making content for it. But it's recently returned. I'm actually, you know, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. Expect content to floweth from my cuppeth to yours soon, in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Okay, I need a break. Work's very busy, but I'm actually, after having, you know, like gone crazy on 40k a little bit, blah blah blah, I'm actually very excited now for a little bit of Kill Team. Not just the playing of, but perhaps going a little bit further than just playing. Maybe I'll hit up a tourney or 7, and then probably do that again in Spain and in Poland at least, if not the US. Need to reach out to some contacts over there, see what I can do. And that's it. Mega hype. We need real buffs. Expect a video soon talking about why Exaction Squad wasn't fixed, Frenzy wasn't fixed, and Chaos Cults suck dick. Bye.